All right, we ready to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, I'm ready to tango. I'm about as ready as I'll ever be. Calm.
Hooja. Hooja.
I need to channel my inner Aaron Rodgers, take some ayahuasca,
Honestly,
go on a darkness retreat.
go on a darkness retreat. Go into one of those sensory deprivation chambers. Those are actually kind of cool.
Dude, I've wanted to try those.
Yeah, the problem is my fat ass probably won't be able to get in and out.
Green 18! Green 19!
Fournette, the running back. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Brady to throw. Goes a deep pass downfield. Got Scotty Miller in the open. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Rodgers fires quickly. End zone is caught for the touchdown by Alan Lazard. First and goal for the 5. Brady. Evans. Did he catch it? Yes, sir. Touchdown. Rodgers spins to his left. Comes underneath, and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. 3rd and 1. Rodgers play action. Look to the end zone. Rainbow Jordy Nelson. He's got it. Touchdown.
Mahomes looking under pressure. Throws the ball upfield. It is knocked away at the 50-yard line. Intercepted. Picked off a deflection.
All right, but enough about our
Anyway.
enough about our bullshit with our past lives as
Enough
terrible
about us being
football players.
losers. All right. Well, welcome to the Battle of Bait podcast. This is episode 37. And I'm Draz. SDS is here on his channel. And we're here to do some rankings and talk about news. And what are we ranking today, SDS? Like, what's the exact description?
We are going to be tier listing QBs for the upcoming season. We're about halfway through training camp, and we know some teams don't have a clear-cut starter, like the Browns and the Saints. But if we come across, well, we will come across those teams, but on the tier list we have, and here it is right here, we do have multiple quarterbacks for the same team, so when we get to them, we'll just rank them based on who we think will start, and we'll categorize them from there.
Yeah, what I figured we could do is if we do have 2 quarterbacks for the same team, like
We have more than
Raiders,
2. The Browns have all 4 of their or all 5 of their disasters on the tier list.
Yeah, so when we rank them, the highest one is the one we think should start.
Yes, and then we will rank that
Essentially.
and then we'll rank that person against all the others, all the other quarterbacks. So
Yeah.
But I think we can work with S tier first because there's only a handful of quarterbacks that actually go in S tier.
So are we just going
agreed?
through? Are we going through every tier? Or are we just going quarterback by quarterback?
Quarterback by quarterback, but because of S tier being there, you could fit 3 people out the gate, and then we can say, are you better or these are the best people, the best quarterbacks in the league. There's no denying it.
So are you saying put only 3 quarterbacks?
Not
in S
only
tier this
3,
time?
but there's only a handful of quarterbacks that can go in S tier.
All right.
And for me, one of them is automatically Josh Allen. Won the MVP award last year. He should have won it the year before, but he's the face of the Bills, and he pretty much carries that team on his back every chance he gets. The other person I'll put in S
Agree
tier,
with that.
as much as it kind of pains me because I do not like him, is Lamar Jackson. Where did he go? There he is.
I mean, he had 44 touchdowns and 4 interceptions this last year.
The last 3 years, he's won 1 MVP, and he's been among one of the best passers, ironically, in the NFL. And I say ironically because he is known for his mobility. As overhyped as I think it is, but he still had one of the best passing seasons that we've seen.
Yeah, this last year, they used him in a way better way because he's never had the strongest arm, but he's never had a weak arm either. But instead of trying to use him, it felt like they were using him as a mobile quarterback that throws some in previous years.
Like
And
we heard
they never let him get in a rhythm.
Like, we hear the term with Anthony Richardson as glorified fullback, but Lamar Jackson actually was able to pass instead of just, chucking 60-yard bombs.
Yeah, so this year it looked like he was actually running a more, like, I don't want to say NFL ready offense, but he was running a more sophisticated thing. He looked efficient. They were using his arm in a way, and he had enough weapons so that, like, he wasn't just force feeding like one or two players.
Yeah, and I keep hearing
having Derrick Henry in the background to run in the backfield running play action is great. So
yeah, Derrick Henry coming to the Ravens was honestly the best thing that's ever happened to Lamar. But that being said, I keep seeing people saying that he should have won the MVP over Allen last year because he had better stats. Well, Josh Allen had better stats than Lamar the year Lamar won the MVP. So
yeah, I honestly think they should swap MVP trophies, but
honestly,
that would be what would happen.
Valid.
They would both still walk away. They both would still walk away with the MVP. They just didn't trade years.
But I don't know about you, but I think those are the only two I would actually put in S tier. But if you got any more you want to put in S tier, I will hear your argument.
Let's see. I am gonna put Joe Burrow in S tier.
Honestly,
he does not have the mobility of the other two, but he was pound for pound the best pocket passer in the NFL last year. Not even close. His accuracy, the way he carried that miserable team to a 9-8 record. He should have been the MVP last year, but he was on a team that was 9-8.
Yeah,
I'm not
honestly,
saying that Josh Allen shouldn't have won it. I'm just saying that, let's say Josh Allen was on the Bills and went 3-13 with his stats, he would have won the MVP.
Honestly,
I would have been almost unanimous.
Honestly, I will agree with that. I don't know how I forgot about Joe Burrow, but I somehow did. But you're correct.
And
he pretty much carries the Bengals on his back. He's the modern day Dan Marino, actually.
Yeah, so the way I would rank them is Josh Allen at the top of S tier, Joe Burrow, and then Lamar Jackson.
That sounds nice.
Because that would be the order I would pick them to be on my roster.
I gotcha.
If that makes sense.
And I don't know, do you have any more for this, or do you just want to continue on with the list?
That is all I have in S tier currently.
All right. So the three S tier quarterbacks we both have.
For me.
We got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson in that order. And the first on this list of the others, Patrick Mahomes. Okay. NFL dick sucking aside on his part, he's A tier. Maybe, like, you can argue maybe B because of last year, but, we know what can happen whenever he gets into a rhythm.
Consistency-wise, A tier is fair for him this year. He had a very mediocre season last year. And
we thought the Chiefs bullshit to a win 2 years ago. Last year was the epitome of bullshit.
Well, that's what I kind of use Patrick Mahomes last year as like a litany test to figure out how, like, I guess what people are when I talk football with them. Because if they're like, oh, Patrick Mahomes is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL still after this last season, I'm like, okay, well, I can't, like, you're so biased, or I can't take you seriously because, like I said,
poor summer child doesn't even know what good quarterbacks are.
People say Aaron Rodgers should retire, and he had better stats than Patrick Mahomes last year. By that metric, Patrick Mahomes should retire.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check that.
Look at
QB stat comparison. I'm looking. All right, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes almost had the exact same amount of passing yards. Aaron Rodgers had more touchdowns and the same amount of interceptions. Oh my God, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Rodgers in a down year had better stats than Patrick Mahomes last year, or equal stats. And yet Rodgers is washed and should retire. And yet Patrick Mahomes is still a top 5 quarterback in the league after last year. So you get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, how much do you know?
You're actually correct. What the fuck?
It's a bias meter. It's a bias meter, right? Mm-hmm. I also use it like another two quarterbacks I look at for like your bias meter is I look at Jared Goff and Matt Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
That's another. I think those players are also really good for like discussion about figuring out how well you know ball, that kind of thing.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to them.
But yeah.
But next on my list is Justin Fields. He is in D tier. The quarterback that every social media man loves. Emmanuel Acho says that Justin Fields is a social media quarterback. Justin Fields is a social media quarterback. He is the epitome of a social media quarterback.
Okay, so I'm gonna be honest.
He makes 3 good plays a year, and they get blown up, and everybody goes, "Oh, look at the talent! He's gonna be so good." And now with him going to the Jets, they're like, "Oh, he can revive his career with the Jets." No, not happening.
The Jets are where quarterbacks go to die.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he should have never left the Bears, and I think the Bears should have run it back with him.
Oh, I would have been fine.
Bears fans wanted him to stay.
You know why I would have been fine with that? Because they would have just failed again.
I like, you get what I'm saying though. It's like he played just well enough in his last season
he has the consistency of sausage gravy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, if Anthony Richardson didn't exist, he has one of the worst. He had one of the worst accuracies you've seen of a quarterback. He was barring on.
He also was behind one of the worst offensive lines we've ever seen, too. So,
well, I mean that's also true, but at the same time,
learning in that basically it would be like learning how to shoot in the middle of a war zone. That's basically
you point and shoot.
I've never shot a gun before. I don't know how to load it, but you have to do it in 5 seconds or you're gonna die. Just like
it's Dunkirk. You're the medic during Dunkirk.
You have to perform your first surgery, and it's the middle of Dunkirk, and there are planes bombing you from overhead. Perform your first C-section right now, please.
All right, but Justin Fields goes in D tier. I'm going to
consider D tier as because I'll say this as well. My D tier is either prove it or you have failed to prove it here.
Justin Fields for me is failed to prove it. Another Ohio State QB that's bitten the dust.
He's not quite F tier because F tier is your complete failure.
F tier is you were drafted with high upside, and then you completely fall apart. We'll save that because we got some quarterbacks who can go in F tier soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But moving on, Jalen Hurts. Okay, you might not like this. I'm gonna put him in A tier. He's not going to be somebody who impresses during the regular season, but once the playoff comes, you can count on him to carry the team.
No, that's why he goes in. I'm going to put him in the top of A tier.
Above Mahomes, actually, yeah, above Mahomes, I'd do
Mahomes. Especially after this last season.
Especially after the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, he had one really bad throw. I don't know if it was a bad route or it was in the first
quarter, and he completely arced the ball.
Yeah, but the thing is he had one bad throw in the Super Bowl. One.
And it was picked. Granted, it was picked off.
Yes. But okay, I am tired of disrespecting Jalen Hurts. Something has to be said. He is not gonna wow you with stats, but he's gonna be consistent and he's going to play well. He's not going to play
2021. If he has another season like that, then we could talk about maybe top 5 status. But he's I won't say he's a game manager. Because he's not Tom Brady was a game manager. Aaron Rodgers, he was very good at what he did, but he was still kind of a game manager, a little bit, small bit. Jalen Hurts is what you look for with a guy who will not wow you, but he will help you get to the top of whatever you're looking for. He's proven that twice.
He is a more mobile, more consistent, and better decision-making Brock Purdy. That's my opinion on him.
Honestly, I'd say that's about accurate.
And like I said, I'm basically I'm making this list and putting it in order of who I would choose. Like, say we're doing a fantasy draft and points don't matter. I'm just taking my quarterback based on who I would have best available.
I got
And I'm
you.
gonna try not to be biased because Jordan Love's on here, and I would because I'm a Packers fan. I would like to take him over some players that I think are close to him, but I'm gonna try to not be biased about that.
All right. Well,
which brings us to a player that I won't want. He's a nice person, but
all right, Dak Prescott.
he's a nice human being. I'm going to put him. It's hard for me not to. It's hard for me not to hold it against.
I really
want to
slap him.
So much money.
I want to slap him and see so bad.
I'm going to have him survive B tier barely. He's going to be the bottom of B tier.
I'll do B tier. For the amount of money they put in Dak Prescott, he's shown exactly nothing. 2 wildcard playoff wins, and that's it.
The problem is I honestly think if he goes somewhere else with a more competent franchise, he might actually be better. Because he has not played horrible. The problem is when he gets to the playoffs, for one, Mike McCarthy. He had Mike McCarthy as a head coach. Here's the order of Cowboys coaches: Clapping Man Jason Garrett, Fat Man. You just said his name, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, and now a puppet in Marty Schottenheimer. Yeah, and you know what they all have in common? They are not very good at offensive coordination. And well, even then, their offensive coordinator, I don't know who it was under Jason Garrett, but first it was damn it, he's the coach for the Kellen Moore. There we go. About to say he's the coach for the Saints. He had Kellen Moore as an OC who called a QB draw during the playoffs, and they got knocked out from the playoffs because of it. And then the same guy called for Ezekiel Elliott to be put in center, and then he immediately fucked off somewhere else the next year. I think it was the Chargers before going to the Eagles. Well, my big thing, like that sums up Dak's whole career, is the playoff against Jordan Love when they got blown out. when they legitimized the 7th seed. So when they threw there's a play where Xavier McKinney got a pick 6. Mm-hmm. I think it was Xavier. No, maybe it was. It was our safety before. Savage, Darnell Savage. Yeah, Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage basically said, "Yeah, they've run that slant, and they had Brandon Cooks, who is like 5'10" on a slant, and then they had their other wide receiver. I can't remember their number 1 wide receiver on a double slant. CeeDee Lamb." And long story short, it was so obvious because of how they even lined them up. They were never going to throw to Brandon Cooks or one of the two. I can't remember which one, but it was one of them. I can probably find the video again. But yeah, long story short, they had thrown the same play multiple times during the year, and Darnell Savage knew the play, had seen it like 7 times, and just knew immediately he was never going to throw to that first option. He was only going to throw the second slant. And he threw the second slant, and it got jumped, and easy pick 6. And it's like, okay, well, Dak Prescott's not calling plays, obviously. So he's not a game manager. But he's got talent. If he was in a good offensive system like the 49ers, I think he would be as good as Brock Purdy. I'm sorry. If I'm an NFL GM, it's easy to say this because we're sitting on our asses behind a computer screen. But if I'm an NFL GM or an NFL coach, I don't care what amount of talent you have. If you're 2 and 5 in the playoffs, and you've already had about three career, not career, but season-ending injuries to different parts of your body, I'm going to be considering letting you go and looking for somebody else. If you show no ability to win in the playoffs outside of a couple of wild card games against terrible teams, then why should I keep you around? The problem is, though, that's kind of like the Cowboys thing. I want Dak to not be on the Cowboys for a couple of years, so I know what he's got and what's the Cowboys and what's Dak's fault. Which one is, you know what I mean? Because his entire career he's spent on the Dallas Cowboys, who have a knack for getting to the playoffs and then failing miserably.
At this point, we might see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl before GTA 6 comes out. And it's been about 30 years.
All right, we got to move on because we
got into a Cowboys feel. But Jaden Daniels, A tier, easy. I love Jaden Daniels.
I'm gonna put him under Jalen Hurts though.
Yeah, I will put him above Mahomes, below Jalen Hurts. I love Jaden Daniels. He's proven me right about everything that I said about him last year. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. He got the Commies to the NFC Championship game for the first time in years. Won them their first playoff game since 2000-something. It was against the Bucks, ironically enough.
Percentage?
His completion percentage was like upper 60s, I believe. But if the Commies can't keep it up, like
69, nice.
Nice. But if the Commies keep up what they're doing, like, and I keep seeing people say, "Oh, he's going to have a sophomore slump because of trends." It's not going to happen. He's going to improve. Yeah, he might have worse interception totals. Like you said this last week, he might have worse interception totals because he's going to be more confident and taking more risks. But at the same time, he should still improve on what has been a fantastic rookie year.
And I think they overall, as long as Laramie Tunsil doesn't have holding issues like he did this last year, I think their offensive line's significantly better. Too.
And if Deebo Samuel has a resurgence,
yeah, and Deebo Samuel has at least is a better number 2. I think they had Curtis Samuel last year as number 2.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel went to the Bills. I think number 2 was Luke McCaffrey.
Dotson too.
No, Jahan Dotson got traded to the Eagles before the season started.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was Terry McLaurin, Luke McCaffrey, and Noah Brown. 2 out of 3 of them are Ohio State's go. Huh?
But yeah, he's going to have a better wide receiver core. He's going to have a better offensive line, and he's going to have a year under his belt. And he's got a good offensive coordinator, so I think he's positioned to not have a sophomore slump.
Like Cliff Kingsbury, we know his NFL coaching tenure was god awful with the Cardinals, but I think he's proven he has a place in the NFL as a coordinator.
Absolutely. All right. Next player,
Russell. Okay, so we got 3 people here: Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart. Who do we think is going to be starting for the Giants first of all?
Well, it's going to be Russell Wilson.
All right, and as far as Russ is concerned, I'm going to put him in C tier.
I'm going to put Russ in...
You can't put him in D tier. He's still a starter. He's just not going to be doing much.
I almost want to put him in retire, bro. I'll try not to let the bias of how much of a disaster his career's been since leaving Seattle.
Nah, that was still the funniest thing ever.
His fault.
It was the moment where like the NFL was like trying to dick ride Russell Wilson, and he got completely smacked in the face when he joined the Broncos.
Dude, Broncos country, let's ride is going to be a meme for the ages. All right, well, I'll put him in the bottom of C tier, and I'll put Jackson Dart in D tier, and Jameis Winston's going in F tier. He's my first F.
Yeah, no, Jameis Winston, I cannot stand him. I don't see what the NFL media sees in him. I don't see what fans see in him.
I mean,
he's Deshaun Watson with likability. That's it. Because he's guilty of the exact same shit. He did it when he was in FSU. He was suspended for 3 games because he somebody during an Uber ride. I don't see it. I don't see why people like him. His 5-year tenure with the Bucks was the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. Thank God we got Brady the next year, but either way. But he's better off just fucking off. F for fuck off. And as far as Jackson Dart's concerned, I will put him in D tier. I will put him in D tier, like above above Justin Fields, of course. But that's only because, he's a rookie. He's a late-round rookie. We don't know what could come out of him. It could be something good. The last time they drafted a quarterback out of Ole Miss, it turned out to be Eli Manning, and he's, I won't say a Hall of Famer, but he's won 2 Super Bowls.
Eli Manning's the Hall of Famer because of the 2 Super Bowls.
He did disrupt a perfect season for Tom Brady.
I'm gonna put him below Justin Fields, but that's just because Justin Fields won. He went 4-1 with the Steelers last year.
Like,
I know that didn't entirely have to do with him, but he at least won games in his career and played decent. Not great, but he played decent. And Jackson Dart hasn't played a snap, so I will give a little bit of leeway to Justin Fields.
Well, I got Bo Picks next. Who's next for you?
Mine's actually Jared Goff.
Who's after Jared Goff?
Jordan Love.
Okay, then I somehow dragged Bo Picks up here. Let's just get that out of the way.
Bo Nix, you mean? Get him out of the way?
I'm going to put him bottom of C tier. I still think he's nothing. Yeah, he got the Broncos to a playoff berth, but he was so inconsistent last year. Started off the season going like what? Oh, having a 0-6 touchdown interception ratio. And then the Broncos schedule just allowed him to play some of the worst defenses we've seen.
I'm going to put him in B tier. Oh,
B tier?
Below Dak Prescott.
You're putting Bo Nix in B tier?
He had better stats than Patrick Mahomes last year.
That's not saying much.
I know, but like, as far as a rookie season goes, having 29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 3,700 passing yards, like, that's a success.
I'm calling the Broncos what they were last year. They were schedule merchants carried by yards after carry.
But they got fucked. They got fucked out of a 10th win by the fucking Chiefs. Black Magic. They would have had 10 wins if it weren't for a blocked field goal.
The Chiefs show that fluke bullshit wins don't mean anything.
But yeah, I'm
remove
the benefit of the doubt.
Remove the NFC South from their schedule with any other team, and it probably flips. Yes, I'm biased because fucking Duck Clips is on the team.
If Bo Nix was doing this on the Bucks, you would be having him in B tier.
No, I would not. I would not.
Okay.
No, like there's certain quarterbacks I can't stand. I don't know why, but I don't know why. Maybe it is because he's on the Broncos and coached under Sean Payton. Then again, I never really hated Breeze whenever he was playing. But there's just something about Bo Nix I just don't like. All right, Jared Goff. A tier, below Jalen Hurts, above Jaden Daniels.
Based on this year, I'm actually going to put him below Jaden Daniels.
I mean, he gets the leg up over Jaden Daniels just because of experience. That's it.
Yeah, I've already said I'm doing this based on
who you want.
I would pick on my team, and I would want Jaden Daniels over him just because of age, young, like potential. Like Jaden Daniels has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback of all time. I don't think that Jared Goff, even if he wins 2 Super Bowls or something like that in the future, is going to be a top 5 quarterback of all time.
I hear you.
But I love Jared Goff. So
all right, well, next we got Jordan Love. I'm going to put him in B tier above Dak. He's literally Brett Favre right now.
I'm going to put him in A tier above Patrick Mahomes because he did play better than Patrick Mahomes, but he had sort of a slump.
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, that happened. But at the same time, he's channeling Brett Favre and not in the good way. He's throwing a lot of picks.
He went 25-11 this last year.
I know, but you've seen games where he just completely falls apart.
Yeah.
Like, after the first season he had, you expected him to keep that going, but he had a slump. Like, it's not even a stop.
It's not as big as a slump as people try to say. Though.
Well, yeah, of course, but still, it's like, it's there, it happened.
I do agree he had a slump. But if I'm going to be consistent and I have Patrick Mahomes, maybe I'll just put him below Patrick Mahomes in the bottom of A tier.
Okay. All right, J.J. McCarthy?
Because at least Mahomes has had a history of being good.
Yeah. But next is J.J. McCarthy. I don't even know where I would put him. He has no experience, but he looked good in preseason. And I
I'm
do
gonna put him
think
top of D tier. Because I said he was gonna be my prove it.
I do think he will be good. So I will actually put him bottom of C tier. I'll put him bottom of C tier. I think he will be good, but we will see.
This is gonna shock you, but I'm going to put Caleb Williams in C tier above Russell Wilson.
No, Caleb Williams is going to go above JJ McCarthy, below Bo Nix. You know me. I cannot stand Caleb Williams for what he did in Oklahoma. Chasing
putting
money
him
with
above.
Lincoln Riley, going to USC. I want to punch both of them. At least at least Lincoln Riley is failing in the Big Ten. That makes me happy. But Caleb Williams, the problem is that
Williams is in a better situation, but he's on the Bears.
I want him to fail, and I want the Bears to fail as long as Caleb Williams is there.
Hey, I wouldn't mind putting him in F tier, but
I wouldn't mind it either.
As unbiased as possible. I wouldn't mind the Bears going 0-17 this year. I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah, they're making all these trades just to go 7-10.
They're
same
making all
bullshit
the
as
right
last year.
moves. Yeah, they're making all the right moves.
But it's the same bullshit they have for the past couple of years.
If it wasn't
they get themselves
the Bears,
all hyped up for offseason moves that don't pan out, and they go 4-13 back to back.
Yeah. If it was any other team, I would be thinking C tier for Caleb. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, put him in C tier above Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson to me is, I don't know, I am a lot more down on Russell Wilson than you are. But C tier is bad starter, if that makes sense for me. D is you have to prove it. C tier is starter, but just barely. And B tier is a solid starter. A tier is franchise quarterback level, and S tier is best in the league.
I agree.
So,
all right. Ooh. Hi, buddy.
Baker is...
All right. Now, call me biased all you want. A tier, above Mahomes, above Daniels, above Goff.
I'm putting him below Goff and below Jaden Daniels.
He led. I think he led the league in passing yards last year. I think. I double checked me on that. I think he did. I know he led. I know he led the league in interceptions, but that's going to come with the cost of having no wide receivers for half of the year.
Let's see. So, I think he was second in passing yards. What's his Joe Burrow? I had more. Yeah, Joe Burrow had 400 more passing yards. He had 4,900 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
And Baker Mayfield did get some MVP votes in there. 41 touchdowns, 16 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm putting him below Jared Goff simply because of the interceptions and simply because
and also
he had some ugly moments.
And play style speaking, he is slightly more mobile. He did fend off Nick Bosa whenever he was trying to scramble out to get a pass out. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. And also he also bowled over Bobby Wagner during the wild card game.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think of Baker. Baker is a more refined Jordan Love. Just a gunslinger that will fucking say, I can make this throw, so I'm gonna do it. And just say, fuck it. And,
honestly, with Baker
but he's more refined.
With Baker sticking around, I think Mike Evans will actually break that 1,000-yard mark again. He better, because I will just be sad if he gets 990 yards and he doesn't get it.
Oh, dude, this next one's going to be so difficult to rank.
Bryce Young. What do I do with you? Well, okay, for starters.
I'm going to put him above Caleb Williams.
For starters.
Call me crazy.
For starters, he was benched early in the year. It was Andy Dalton's job until he got into a car wreck. Once he got back in, he looked good. Question is, would Andy Dalton have done the same thing if he didn't get into that car wreck?
I don't think you can give stock into that. I think that Bryce Young came back played way better, looked like he could win them games, and his
All right.
decision making was way better. And so that being said, I'm putting him above Caleb Williams because I think he played equal to or better than Caleb Williams last year for the few games that he came back when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know what?
I would almost put him in
would,
D tier for the prove it thing, but I think that
I will put him above JJ McCarthy and not Jaden Dales, for fuck's sake. Caleb Williams. I'll agree with that. And then we got the Saints hodgepodge. All right.
I've already put them both in F tier.
Between Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler, Spencer Rattler goes in F tier automatically. Again, I can't stand him because he's such an arrogant prick. He thinks he's all good, and the NFL media sucked off the Saints when they took him like in the 5th round. Oh, this is the best QB. What's such value? Proceeds to be 0-6 as a starter.
Actually, I'll put the other guy in prove it.
Tyler Shuck?
Because I like that he's holding out, yeah.
Yeah, no, Tyler Shuck, I will put in prove it. Like, I have no hope for the Saints next year. You have, again, I have them going 2-15. You have them going winless.
16-1.
Technically winless.
Yep. And I'm gonna jump scare you with another thing because I'm gonna make the point. I'm putting Shuck and Michael Penix basically in the same position, but I'm putting Penix above Dart. So the only thing that's in between Shuck or whatever his last name is Dart. So it's gonna be Penix, Dart, and then him.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put Michael Penix in C tier above Bryce Young. Like, he's shown he can do shit. I just hope he doesn't.
Okay, so he has putting him in D tier. I'm putting it in there because it's the prove it section.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that he has done. He didn't show me what Bryce Young showed me. He didn't show me that Caleb Williams did have some good games last year. There was something there, and like I said, he was still behind a terrible offensive line. Penix showed a couple of good games, but
like here's what the Falcons have.
I don't know.
They have
I don't know.
A good offensive line with Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom on the line. They got one of the most inconsistent tight ends on earth, Drake London, and whoever the hell their second wide receiver is, and also Bijan Robertson or Tyler Algier. If anybody's going to take a step up next year, it might be Michael Penix. I just hope to God it's not.
We'll see. I don't necessarily like. I wouldn't mind him.
Like, I just need
like he's got a cannon for an arm.
I just need the Falcons. Like
nuke.
The Falcons. I just want the Falcons to be dumb and keep around Kyle Pitts. Like, he is such an inconsistent fuck.
All right, we got Kyler Murray next.
Oh boy. Okay. B tier, bottom of B tier. There's quarterbacks that you know can do better. There's quarterbacks you know are better than what they show. Kyler's it. He is such a goddamn cock tease.
He shows that he could be like one of the most talented, crazy players of all time, and then he'll just.
And then he throws no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and fumbles the ball away.
Yeah,
like, it is so infuriating because we know
he's
what Kyler Murray.
To watch.
Like, it is so infuriating because you know Kyler Murray can be good. He just can't do it. Whoa, Transman pixelated.
Watch film more, Kyler. You might. Oh my God! I just looked at the next quarterback. It's Sam Darnold.
What the fuck do we do with Sam Darnold?
Oh, fuck it! I'm putting him above Dak Prescott in B tier after last year.
Yeah, we'll see what he does in Seattle. But after last year, he had a year like nobody saw coming. We all thought the Vikings was going to be a train wreck. Then they went 14-3, choked in the playoffs.
Okay, actually, I'm putting him below Dak Prescott because he's not going to have Justin Jefferson to throw to this year.
Nope, he has an old ass Cooper Kupp, and he has Dusty Cooper Kupp and
a worse offensive line.
And actually, whoever the hell that wide receiver is that they got from.
I'm going to drop him below Bo Nix too.
No. No.
he had one good year. Okay, he had one good year, and he was on a team that legitimately looks like they could win without him easily. JJ McCarthy has a chance to be better than Sam Darnold next year, legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, which brings us to the field general of field generals.
Brock Purdy. He just inked a massive extension, so we're about to. But the 49ers also just shedded a lot of talent around him. So we're going to see what he can do without a bunch of people around him. Because I think Brandon Ayuk is still going to be late getting to the season. Because didn't he tear his Achilles?
Yep.
Not his Achilles, but didn't he tear his ACL?
Yep.
And then, George Kittle's always going to be reliable. CMC's coming off what was probably his worst season because of his ankle injury or whatever it was.
They need to cut CMC.
They
sorry.
do.
I don't just save the cap space. He can give you meaningful minutes, just not at the price tag that.
But for all intents and purposes, I'm going to put Brock Purdy smack in the middle of B. I'm going to put him above Kyler and above Dak because at least Brock Purdy could get you to a Super Bowl. He proved that.
I'm glad he got paid. He's one of the coolest success stories, but I'm not as high on him as some people are.
Yeah, no, I can see why people are high on him, but at the same time, he's in a Kyle Shanahan offense, which made any quarterback, unless your name is Trey Lance, look good.
So, which leads us to a player that I'm a lot more high on than you are.
Okay. I won't disrespect Matthew Stafford too much. He's going in B tier, above Kyler, Dak, and Darnold and Purdy, but below Jordan Love.
I'm going to put him in A tier above Mahomes and Love.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know why you're so high on the Rams. I honestly don't. I know you probably explained it a couple of times, but I can't see why you are high on them. I don't.
Matthew Stafford is a very good, experienced quarterback. Their offensive line is better.
He was getting older. Their offensive line did not actually get any better. They lost pieces. And their wide receiver room is Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That's it. They got no running game. They got no running back. Their defense is still young and still trying to learn things. Their secondary, you got to remember, the Rams started 1-4 last year. You got to remember that. And Stafford looked looked his age.
Their defensive line also, though, is could be very good this year. It was already good last year.
Again, the Rams went 10-7. They started 1-4. They got extremely lucky that they went on the run they did. I don't see that improving. They got lucky. The fact you have them going 13 and something and getting deep into the playoffs is astounding to me.
They also don't have the craziest schedule this year either.
They don't, but they still play in the NFC West, which is probably the most competitive conference in the NFL. Especially with the Niners getting healthy, the Arizona Cardinals having another year to develop.
I'm not saying
and Seattle always being a consistent contender.
I'm not saying I could.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, having them going 13 and something or whatever it is you had them going. I don't see it. I don't.
I'm just saying Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams in that offense is it's gonna feed families. He's better than Cooper Kupp, and they went on that run with Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp was out most of the year, I think. So actually, no.
Well, Cooper Kupp was out for part of the year, but even when he was in, I say Devontae Adams was better.
All right, well,
Devontae Adams was just on the Jets.
Continuing
with their offensive coordination.
We got Emmanuel Ocho's most hated guy. Justin Herbert is A tier above Mahomes, above Jalen Hurts. Or not Jalen Hurts, above Jaden Daniels. Only because
people are gonna hate me for that.
Hold on. Justin Herbert, I know he's called the what if man. But at the same time, He has wide receivers besides Ladd McConkey who had stones for hands. That's not going to work out. And we've seen that he can be great. It's just a matter of getting the guys around him. Like, I know, like, I understand, pipe dream, he has to work with what he's got, otherwise he'll be crucified at the stake. But at the same time, he's proven that he can be good.
Man. I'm just out of patience. It's the Chargers. He's on the Chargers. Leave the Chargers, and I might think of putting you above B tier, but he's going to be in the top of B tier for me. Below Love, below Mahomes, below Stafford. He's going to be above Brock Purdy, and that's the best I could put him.
All right.
I think that's fair.
I can debate that, but All right, Geno. Okay, so I have the Raiders.
Dak Prescott and B.
Yeah, I have the Raiders doing surprisingly well. I have them going 10-7, I think. And if your award winners are anything to go by, Geno's going to pop off in the Raiders. Because you had 3 different Raiders players at one point winning awards.
Yeah. I think Geno will do good because he's one back with his original coach that he broke out with. Anyway, because he went with the Jets, but
I can't do
Pete Carroll.
I can't do it, Pete Carroll, because he just follows Jim Harbaugh around, haunting him.
And then having Brock Bowers and stuff like that. Like I think his weapon room. People might think that he's downgrading away from DK Metcalf, but like I think he might actually be like getting more weapons.
Who is the Raiders wide receiver one? Actually, that's a good question.
Jacoby Myers?
Why am I struggling?
I think it's Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and Deontay Thornton.
You got no wide receiver room.
Jacoby Myers is underrated.
I know.
He's underrated.
I like Jacoby Myers, but other than that, there's nothing there.
And they have a very good... They have a very solid offensive line. They got Colton Miller.
They do.
Harem, Jackson Powers Johnson, Alex Kappa, and DJ Calais. I don't remember him. That's a nuts name, though.
Okay. Well, I got Andrew O'Connell next. I'm just going to put him in F and move on with my life. I will put him above Jameis and Spencer Rattler.
O'Connell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I'll put him in F tier.
All right.
And Mason Rudolph, retire, bro.
Yeah. Go away.
Shoo. Get out of here.
Shoo. Go away. Never come back. Bonk.
And the other guy is the Steelers rookie they drafted.
I don't even know who the fuck this is.
I don't even know it.
Wait. Is that Will... Hold on. Is that Will Howard?
Will Howard, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, F. 6th round rookie from Ohio State. Yeah, that's not going to work out.
You know what? I'll agree with you at F.
All right, and then Aaron Rodgers.
And then my beautiful boy.
All right. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to.
Season.
In all intents and purposes, I'm going to put him top of C. Well, we got a news story about him later, but this is going to be like his magnum opus. Whatever happens this year is whatever's going to happen. Last year, yeah, he had average quarterback play, but I don't know. He could do something funny. It'll be funny if he actually does do it. But,
okay, I'm gonna let my bias slip here. I'm gonna let the mask slip.
Ew, put it back on.
I can't put him in A tier. I can't put him in A tier, but I'm sliding him in the top of B tier.
Okay.
I said I would do it based on who I would pick, and I would pick him over Brock Purdy and basically everyone I have in B tier. I would pick him above even
Rodgers.
old man Rodgers. I would rather have him than Herbert. Not gonna lie.
All right.
Not gonna lie.
All right, Bill Cosby, retire, bro.
Yep, retire, bro. He's in the basement, and then I put the next player in there already there as well.
I don't know. Joe Flacco, please, you gotta retire,
Just
man.
retire.
You're hilarious, and I love you, but you're like what, 40? You gotta hang it up. Kenny Pickett.
I'm putting Kenny Pickett in the top of S.
Kenny Pickett. I'm going to put. Kenny Pickett.
He had the best throw of the entire season last year.
Kenny Pickett. I'm going to put top of D. He's a Super Bowl champion, right?
Just as a meme, hold on, put him over Russell Wilson.
As far as what quarterback I think will start, I think Kenny Pickett will actually start with Flacco being the backup and Shador and Gabriel batting it out for that last spot. Thing is,
I'm gonna put him in D.
Yeah, top of D for me because I would rather have him over a rookie, two rookies, and a Justin Fields. But as far as between Shador and Dylan Gabriel is concerned, I think I do like Dylan Gabriel more. So I'm going to put him D tier. I'm going to put both of them in D tier, but have Gabriel above Justin Fields and have Shador above Justin Fields. Like the quarterbacks, the Browns started their draft really well, and then they completely fucked it up by drafting two quarterbacks in the same draft.
It shows a lack of confidence in their two. I'm going to put Shador Sanders in retire, bro.
Oh, come on. He's a rookie. You can't do that to a rookie.
Dude, he's better at speeding than football. I'm going to put... fine, I'll put him in the bottom of D tier.
All right, there you go.
All right. D tier.
Tua turned the ball over.
Cause D tier.
Here's... What do we do? Like, what do I do, actually?
Okay.
Like, he's not... He is not A tier. I'm sorry, but he is not A tier. But he's not bad enough for me to put him in D tier. So what the fuck do I do?
I'm putting him above Russell Wilson in C tier, but below Caleb Williams and Bryce Young. And I will tell you exactly why. Because if you touch him, if you put your finger on his forehead, he is going to be gone for 6 weeks.
He's constantly getting concussed. Can't play above 40 degrees. Or can't play below 50 degrees.
I will say.
I will. You know what? I'm gonna do.
There are games he looks like a top 5 quarterback.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put him above Bo Nix, below Russell Wilson. I think I will agree with you. In C tier.
The problem with him is I watched him play Green Bay live, and he threw 2 interceptions to the same person on the same play.
Like, applause to the Dolphins for trying to build around him. But you guys fucked up miserably with the offensive line.
I love Tua as a person. I think he's great.
I got no problems with Tua. It's just the problem I do have is that if it's below 50, he freezes up, and his offense around him is just based on speed, and that's it.
Yeah, their entire offense. I think they need to fire Mike McDaniel, or demote him to offensive coordinator because I don't think he's it. He's a great he's
entertaining.
Around. I think he deserves to be in the NFL. Straight up, he should be a coordinator somewhere. But
also his last name is McDaniel. Where's the S at the end of that?
Okay. Here's the thing. I think McDaniel's team is soft.
I agree.
Dolphins are soft.
Their best season was 11-5, and they got completely blown out by the Chiefs because it was -40.
Yeah. Okay, this next one.
Drake May. Okay, so he's proven that
top
he has.
Tier.
He's yeah, I will do that. The thing is, he's proven he has talent. It's just with the Patriots, he has nothing to work with.
Yeah. This year, I think he's going to have a little bit more. I
do not like quarterbacks that go into the draft with the tools he has all the tools, but none of the college success. Because more often than not, you get Anthony Richardson than Josh Allen.
To be fair, though, he
looked good. He looked good. I won't dispute that. He did look good. But I'm still reserved about it because it's do I really trust that to keep going?
Mac Jones also looked good in his first year too.
Yeah, but then again, he has an actual coaching staff.
They have Vrabel now.
He has an actual coaching staff around him. So, again, I like Mike Vrabel. He should never left Tennessee.
All right, we're about to have another controversial.
Oh God, the man I
So I'll
probably
tell you
hate
where
the
I'm gonna
most
rate
in
him.
the NFL.
I'll tell you where I rate him.
Go.
Because I'm being consistent, I'm rating him in B tier because he did show talent and he still showed talent. But he's in the same area, very close with someone like what's his face from the Cardinals? I can't
Kyler
remember
Murray.
his name right now. Kyler Murray. He's
I-
in the same tier of B tier where he looks great one game, then he looks like crap the next.
Okay,
And
I see
part of
the
that is
logic.
offensive line issues.
I see the logic.
So he's going to be
I
the bottom
understand
of
the
tier.
logic. The thing I have is that he was basically the same guy the first season and the second season. He was basically the same quarterback. The problem is that he had more interceptions and his team arguably got worse. So the reason why I think people like CJ Stroud and were like all on top of him after his rookie season was that he was not Deshaun Watson. Anybody that looked
Maybe.
after the season they had with after they traded him away, anybody was going to look better than what Deshaun Watson could put on the field. So I think they were just under euphoria for, oh, this is what we were in the right place. This is so much better than Deshaun Watson. And then the next year they completely get slapped with reality. So
Yeah.
I'll agree. I'll put CJ Stroud. Why do I keep saying Jaden Daniels for like half these people? But I'm going to put him bottom of B tier.
That's
I'm
fair.
going to put him below
That's fair.
Kyler.
He's only
He's
one
2
spot above me.
He's
above
2
you
years
there.
in. He's 2 years into his career. First season was just the euphoria. We got a quarterback. He looks so good. And then the next year was just more of what he did his rookie year, but without none of the luster. But without none of that luster. All right. Cam Ward.
Oh, you forgot Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is with the Indy Colts, and he's with Anthony Richardson next to him.
I have them before. I have both of them before.
Okay, well, let's just do this. Anthony Richardson, F. Daniel Jones, F.
So Daniel Jones is going in D tier with Justin Fields because I think that both of them had the same career. Horrible organization, horrible situation.
No. Indy, I would not say that Indy's a horrible organization. They had something.
No. Indy now, but he was at the Giants for his whole career.
No.
This is his first season.
No, you're saying they have the same situation. Indy, no. Anthony Richardson, he's just awful. He's awful.
No. I'm talking Justin Fields versus Daniel Jones. They had the same situation. Drafted, came up in a horrible organization with a horrible roster, with horrible weapons, and now they're going somewhere else that they could have a fresh start.
Okay, I see the logic.
And so I'm putting him in the same the prove it thing, putting it in the prove it section.
Okay, I'll put him bottom of D tier because I do see the logic. I'm going to put Anthony Richardson top of F. Anthony Richardson,
he's
barring
very
any
top of F.
Anthony Richardson, barring any goddamn miracles that happen, he's the worst. He's statistically the worst quarterback in the NFL. He's better off swapping. He's better off swapping positions.
I see why they drafted him. Though. I see why they drafted him. His arm was crazy. He has one of the craziest throws I've ever seen.
You know who else had a powerful rocket arm? Zach Wilson. How'd that work out?
Yep,
it didn't.
Okay, so Zach Wilson has now left the Jets. So give him a couple of years, and he's gonna have his Sam Darnold season somewhere.
I don't know
because the way he's been talking, he's like, it's kind of crazy how different and how much better things are.
Where the fuck did Zach Wilson even go? I know he was on the Broncos last year. Is he still with the Broncos?
There's no way he's on the Miami Dolphins.
What?
He is. He's on the Miami Dolphins. He's going to get playing time this year. Let's go.
Oh, I think you might be right then.
He's going to get playing time.
Oh my God.
He's going to have his coming out games.
He's going to have his coming out games against the Jets. I guarantee it. Scriptwriters are going to have that happen.
Dude, Tua's going to go out and he's going to go for 400 yards against the Jets.
Okay, we got two more to get through. All right, Cam Ward, I'm going to put my new top of D, like rookie stuff. I like Cam Ward.
Yeah.
I think he's going to
Yeah, I
surprise
agree
a
with that.
lot of people. Like, I think of all the rookie quarterbacks, he will have the most success. Like, that's obvious with him being the number 1 overall pick.
Tennessee's wide receiver room is.
They just, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I think he will be able to work with him.
Yeah, no, I actually I like the pick. He was kind of just the obvious Tennessee pick, like.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have rather them traded it away the first pick and let someone else take him and like build the roster a little bit. But I also understand, you get a once in a lifetime prospect, you want to take it, you know. But the problem is what happens when you're not ready to take a franchise quarterback. This next quarterback
Cam Ward
is in that situation.
Cam Ward was the most like composed person I've seen when it came to getting drafted. Like, he was not flashy. He took his call. He went to the stage, shook a hand. He didn't like. He's very professional.
So I will say this: Cam Ward is his career is in jeopardy because the last quarterback on our list is a warning. He's like a red flag.
He's the NFL tale of mismanagement.
Yes, and it's like the Titans, if they are not very, very, very careful, will send him down the same path as what the Jaguars are sending Trevor Lawrence down. Trevor Lawrence is way better. He is way better.
Like, we
than
know
what he gets credit for.
Like, we know how good he can be. The Jaguars, before they collapsed, were 9-3, and he looked amazing. And then he got hurt and was forced to play through that injury. But for now, I will put him top of C tier, like the very top of C tier. This year, something might happen because he has Liam Cohen, as much as I hate him, and I hate to say it. But I don't know, like, last year did not inspire any confidence.
I'm putting him in B tier. I know that's like a little bit like crazy, but I would choose him over Kyler Murray. I would choose him. I don't know. I would choose him. Dude, I would choose him over CJ Stroud probably too, especially after last year. Because it's like, I don't know. I have like a soft spot for Trevor Lawrence because I really feel, because I followed the Jacksonville Jaguars a lot because like they're a very
because you live pretty much because you live pretty much an hour away from Jacksonville.
Yeah. And it's like, but they're also a very interesting team to me because I liked Travis Etienne, like I liked everything, but I also watched them more than any other team the last 2 years because they are always on TV. So I'm always watching Jacksonville games and seeing what on a daily basis, like not on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, what he had to work with, the problems, the situation on the offense there. I do not think it's Trevor Lawrence's fault. I don't. And like, I don't want him to get ruined. Like, and he might already have been damaged his career, right? Because say he was in Brock Purdy's situation, dude, he could be Jaden Daniels good, like right now. Because the thing is, I mean, I don't know, like Trevor Lawrence was that good of a prospect. He was a better prospect in my eyes than Caleb Williams. And so it just, I don't know. I feel really bad for him. Jacksonville is a hellhole. Hopefully Liam Cohen fixes it. But they don't have a very good track record with coaches because, oh my God, his first coach was
Urban
terrible.
Meyer was, I hate the guy. I can't stand him. He's
one of
such
the worst
an asshole.
hires I've ever seen.
Like, forget the fact that he coached Ohio State. Forget the fact he coached Ohio State for the last 8 years of his coaching tenure in college. He is such an asshole,
dude.
And his Jacksonville tenure was just god awful. One of the worst things we've ever seen.
Dude, 2024 for Trevor Lawrence, he threw for 2,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He was out a lot.
You could blame the Texans for that fact.
His previous seasons, though, 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Previous season before that, 4,100 yards, 25 and 8.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Those are good. Those are quality seasons from a young quarterback.
they just have nothing attached to them.
They have no. Yeah, there's no success. He has one of the greatest playoff wins though of all time. Yeah, the AFC divisional. They lost, but they won. They beat the Chargers 31-30, and they were down like 28-0.
Yeah,
or 27-0.
and he threw like 4 interceptions.
Yeah, and so they have like one of the craziest.
Mm-hmm.
They have one of the craziest wins, and so it's like I don't know.
Okay, well, here's my list. I'll also put in Draz's. I will actually move this more to my side. That way Joy can fit it in post-editing whenever you send me it. But, this is my list. Draz's list will go under his. And we will see how much we actually fare in our things.
There's a couple that I took a leap of faith. There's a couple teams that I'm taking a leap of faith on, but I also did that last year. I remember I did that with the Cardinals. I did it with Jacksonville.
It didn't work out too well.
Didn't work too well with Jacksonville. So if it doesn't work out with the Rams, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You gotta have a hot take or something. At least one hot take, right?
Yeah. With all that being said, it is now time for the news. First things first, we always start with NFL. This morning, Todd Bowles and Jason Light of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got extended. Now, that does mean we're now going to move on from Todd Bowles for at least 2 more seasons, but, I mean, we did get to the playoffs for multiple years in a row.
I don't think it's a bad re-sign. Todd Bowles has been good, so...
Yeah,
maybe not flashy, but hell, you can't argue with the outcome.
Bowles' extension is 3 years. No monetary value attached to it from what ESPN has, but he is going to be here for another 3 years, up until 2028. Oof. Again, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like there's better NFL head coaches, but he can't deny that we've been more successful under him than we have since even under Bruce Arians, because he was only around for 3 years. This is like the most runs of success we've had as a franchise since Tony Dungy retired.
There's something to be said about just consistency.
Yeah. Consistency is good.
I don't hate it.
Consistency is good. We can win a playoff game with him. It's just will he get us to the promised land at some point? I think with Baker Mayfield it is possible as long as you keep building around him. But I don't know.
Problem is this team's getting old.
I mean, well, yeah, Mike Evans is getting
places.
Here's the thing about Todd Bowles is one thing. But when Jason Light sat there during the draft with his thumb up his ass, not doing anything to fix the linebacker and safety problems we have, it I was so angry besides just, him drafting Ohio State scum in the first round. But, which was a wide receiver, which is not even our area of need at the point. I'm sorry, but unless Mike Evans told the organization, hey, I'm retiring next year, then I don't see a reason why you draft him. I don't.
All right.
But we'll see.
Run the next one.
Yeah, but we'll see. All right. Travis Hunter finally signed his rookie deal. It's going to be about $50 million, give or take a few.
Yeah, $47 million.
$47 million.
$47 million.
And
he's going to play both ways.
And he is going to play both ways. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what they said. And they were hinting that he could play the whole game that way. I don't think he is.
I don't think he will. That's the thing. If he does, that'll be astounding.
I think he'll be on the snap count.
All right.
I think he could definitely win Rookie of the Year if he plays decent on both, just by default.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be funny if it would be crazy if he won Defensive Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year. That would be nuts.
Could you imagine how insane that'd be? I don't think that's ever happened before.
I honestly wanted the Heflin simply because of how stupid it was. It would be goofy as hell.
Oh, it would be
right.
funny. All right.
I'll take this next one too.
Mhm.
My beautiful baby boy Aaron Rodgers is retiring after this year. This is it.
Do, 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 do.
I hope he balls out in his last year. Hope he has a Peyton Manning ending and not a
Not
I
a
don't
Ben
know, what's a-
Ben Roethlisberger ending.
not a Ben Roethlisberger ending. Yeah. We'll see though. We'll see. Got DK Metcalf the third too, so we'll see.
All right. Just some minor news. Shaquille Griffin's going back to the Seattle Seahawks on a 1-year deal. Honestly, if you're in the NFL, any kind of secondary depth is as good as you can get. So,
Yeah.
All right. College QB news. A top 100 recruit decided to go to BYU of all places. QB Ryder Lyons,
He's
number
Mormon.
49 recruit in 2026, picks BYU. Why?
He's Mormon.
Is he Mormon?
That's a Mormon's dream. I don't know. That would make 100% a sense if he was Mormon.
Following a string of unofficial visits that include stops at Michigan, Ohio State, and Ole Miss, trimmed his finals to BYU, Oregon, and USC. You could have went to Michigan, you bastard.
So, AI overview is saying Ryder Lyons is a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints, so he might actually be a Mormon.
Oh, great.
So okay, all right,
All right,
So he
understandable.
might actually, I might have just guessed.
All right. Nothing to say about the NBA draft other than it's just rigged.
Yeah, well, 3 players from Duke went in the first round.
Yeah,
in the first
Oklahoma
10
had
picks.
their Oklahoma had their first picks, first top 10 pick since what's his name, Trae Young, I think.
Oh, and Ace Bailey got fucked.
Ace Bailey.
Have you been following that?
No, what happened?
So Ace Bailey he was been projected to go to the into the lottery for forever, but he went out of his way to say, "You better not draft me to the Hornets or the Jazz. I refuse. I don't want to go there."
And he got sent to the Jazz.
He refused to take workouts with both teams, and so the Hornets come on the clock, and he was still available, and everybody was like, "No way." But the Hornets were like, "We're going to take the local boy from Duke, Con Knuppel." They chose to, I guess, honor his wish, didn't draft him, and drafted Duke.
And then the Jazz
just didn't give a fuck.
You're playing here whether you like it or not.
He got shot. He looked like he got shot walking out there. He was not smiling. He was not happy at all. He got fucked. He got fucked. I wouldn't be surprised if he just said, "I'm not playing for you. Trade me," which would be a disaster for the Jazz. But if he does play, I don't know. Like, that was the only thing I followed this entire.
The only other interesting thing that happened is that Brooklyn had 4 first-round picks.
And the Hornets traded Mike Williams during the draft.
Also, you're about to see like how much basketball knowledge I don't have. I did not know that the NBA draft was only 2 rounds.
Oh, I did. I've done that. It tends to go by quicker.
Yeah, but I never
the
knew.
Second round draft picks are basically worthless, and the first round draft picks are worth a bunch.
Yeah. Okay. Now for the obvious thing. OKC. 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 Things happened during that game. I'll get to it, but let me just bask in the moment. The curse is broken.
Let you have your moment.
The curse is broken. The curse of moving from Seattle to OKC has officially been broken. Apparently, I'm allergic to success. Just finally. Like, I'm fine with this. We're set up. We're set up for success. There's no way it can possibly go wrong next year, right? Right? Maybe. We'll see. I'm happy. OKC, NBA champions. Let's go.
It should have been the Pacers, dude.
But speaking of Pacers, if you watched the first quarter of that game, you would have noticed that Tyrese Halliburton, while playing on a strained calf, popped his Achilles like it was a soda can. Poor bastard.
And the game was close, and he was 3 for 5 from the field and looked like he was going to fucking cook during the game.
Yeah, once you saw him go down and scream like that, you just knew something bad happened. And this is a trend. Like Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, and I think it was some other guy with the Mets. Not the Mets.
8 players. 8 players have had, I think, torn
Hold on,
Achilles
Damian.
this year.
Who does Damian Lillard play for again?
Bucks.
Thank you. He also popped his Achilles, and that's a concerning trend. Like, you had 3 people pop their Achilles during the playoffs. Coincidentally, they all awarded the number 0 too, but that's besides the point. Like, what happened? Like,
I think they're just pushing players too much, and players are not necessarily like getting hit as much because people think, like, oh, you're just getting bumped and banged. They're not getting hit as much, but they're moving fast. They're
like,
more is being asked.
They're moving fast. Like the way the muscles in your leg and footwork, they pull and then contract. If you have a strain already and you pull at the worst possible moment, it snaps like a rubber band.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of how the NBA Finals ended. And let's just say on the internet, there's not a very satisfied NBA fan base.
Where are the girls? Bring on the confetti. Ow! Ow! Easy with the confetti.
I know you don't. I can't get in a huge thing because we already talked about the Hornets trade, so I'm not even going to talk about that again. Tyrese Halliburton, tore Achilles. We're at the speed run through this, but OKC, I don't like how they play basketball, dude. I don't like how they play basketball. It's not fun to watch at all, especially SGA. Especially SGA. And one of your guys' players has injured 2 people in the same playoffs run.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sounds of bitterness and jealousy.
I mean, you basically have a guy imitating Draymond Green on your roster. Everybody's foul baiting on your team. And it felt like that they were getting foul calls, and then they could put their hands and push and shove. In the finals game in Game 7, one of your guys' players just straight up 2-hand shoves somebody away from the basketball, and he doesn't get called for a foul. And he takes it and scores a free basket because he just literally shoved the Pacers player away. But if you try to touch Shea at all, you put your hand on him, it's a foul. Like it just felt like, I don't want to say rigged, but it felt like, it feels like you can't, and that's what NBA players and coaches were saying the whole playoff run is like, you can't touch the Thunder, but they can be super physical with you. And I don't think that's the Thunder's fault. I just think
you have not you can the physical play argument. Every time we went to Indiana, they just could not stop smacking our players. I'm sorry, but that argument's false. They've done the exact same thing to us, and they didn't get called. I don't know. Now, you can argue Game 7 all you want, because it was at OKC, and statistically speaking, at OKC, we do get more foul calls than the normal. But at the same time, like, they've been playing physical and never get called whenever we were in Indiana. So, what do you want me to say?
I would like SGA a lot more if he actually finished and followed through. But he flops like on every drive to the basket and just throws the basketball up every time. And he doesn't try to like finish through contact. He just like he'll jump and try to initiate contact and fling up the ball half the time. And stuff like that. It's so frustrating to watch. It's like, that's not fun to watch as a basketball player. You know, trying to finish at the rack, drawing a foul, that's actually like satisfying. You know, when Ant draws contact, you know, fights his way up to the basket, gets a finish or something like that. Like, you know, LeBron James does it. There's a whole bunch of people that do it. And it's just like, I feel like SGA, he'll go drive to the basket, and he has that finishing ability. Like, he has the ability to do it, and he just doesn't do it because the way the NBA is right now, if you flail and then throw the ball up, they'll just call a foul. And that's not entirely his fault, but like I said, it's just other players do it. It's very frustrating that the MVP of the league is doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's on the biggest stage. It just makes, I don't know. It makes it harder to watch NBA. Which, like I said, that's not all the Thunder's fault either. That's like, I'm not saying Jonathan Stein, you're fucking chucks and stuff. I was just the Pacers were super a breath of fresh air for the NBA for me. Same thing with the Knicks, and it didn't end very well.
Evidently. All right, we got like 4 more things to get through, so let's just make this quick. Celtics traded Tingus Pingus to the Hawks in a 3-team deal. It makes me sad because anything Atlanta related I don't particularly like, and I like Tingus Pingus, so he got sent to a team I don't really care for.
Tingus Pingus is Kristaps Porzingis, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know the memes.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
And side thing, they also dumped off what's the other player that they traded the day before? Celtics.
I don't know who the Celtics traded.
Point guard.
I don't know.
They trade Drew Holiday. And so they basically dumped 50 million of cap space for next to nothing in return, but both of them were super injured and they didn't play that great in the playoffs, and they're like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why they just dumped the salary, which I actually agree with the move. It was cutthroat, but
also,
I like Kristaps Porzingis, but he was getting paid too much for what he gave them this last year.
Yeah, I'm also going to bring this up because I don't think we talked about it. Kevin Durant got traded to the Rockets. How many times do the Rockets got to take our sloppy seconds and think they're going to be amazing?
Okay, so that one, they only gave up 5 seconds, 1 first, and a player that was super inconsistent in Jalen Green. That is not bad at all. They got
but it's the fact, everybody's saying, oh, the Houston Rockets are contending now because of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has done nothing.
Okay, I will agree with you there. I will agree with you, Kevin.
And also,
I don't think that
this is James Harden, Russell Westbrook, KD. Those are people who went to Houston and completely flopped miserably after coming from OKC. It's not going to work. It never has worked for them ever. This is just going to be another chapter of that.
I could see where it would work out. I could see, but the thing is, I don't see them doing anything other than going on a slight playoff run because I don't see them getting through the Nuggets or the Thunder.
They better not get to the Thunder with They better not get to the Thunder with Kevin fucking Durant.
As much as it seems like I hate the Thunder, I don't hate the Thunder. And they are poised to run it back, or at least have a chance to run it back, barring injuries.
Back-to-back championships, I don't expect, but another deep playoff run, I do expect. If that makes any sense.
No. It's really hard to repeat. The Celtics were in the position to repeat, and look what happened to them. They didn't get close. Mm-hmm. And so the odds are is you guys don't repeat. I could see it happening because, like I said, your team is super young, and you guys won.
And we still got a bunch of first round picks we can use because of this Clippers. Thanks.
Honestly, if I were you guys, I would just straight up dump all those firsts and get Giannis.
More firsts.
Just dump those firsts, get Giannis, and then just say "fuck you, NBA."
You know what? I would not be upset if we somehow traded for Giannis. It would be hilarious.
No, it would be like the ultimate fuck you. We just won the title, and now we have Giannis.
We just won the title, and then we just won the title. People are still talking about LeBron and the Lakers. Well, fuck you. We'll get Giannis.
Oh God. Oh, but yeah. Anyway.
All right, moving on. The Mavericks re-signed their resident conspiracy theorist Kyrie Irving, another player I don't like on a team I hate.
Fucking flag.
And then to be heard with Cooper fucking flag from the most rigged draft lottery of all time.
Oh, You don't know how much it pisses me off as a Duke and a Hornets fan, dude. That is like a double fucking nut shot, man. They fucking took a shotgun shell to both my nut sacks. Yes, and I said both my nut sacks.
What kind of mutant are you?
At this point, you don't even know. You know I have plenty of medical issues.
Yeah, but I don't think lack of hormones contributes to a double nutsack. If anything, that seems like it would reduce one. But moving on from Drad's medical issues, fan who taunted Kite Marte banned from all ballparks. So this guy shouted something at the player about something about his mama, and he just broke down on the field. And he was ejected from the game, and now he's been banned from all ballparks in the MLB.
Side note, the Orioles got in bad fucking press again because they banned somebody, like banned a commentator or something, and it was super unpopular. I kept seeing articles saying how fucking shitty the Orioles are. I was like, oh, that's about par for the course.
Well, we'll see how shitty the Orioles are, because the last thing we're going to do is look at MLB standings. Detroit's 50-31.
You guys have a plus 86 run differential.
Oh, yeah, don't remind me. I love the fact that we're finally ahead in run differential.
We have a minus 87 run differential.
Yeah, my question is, how the fuck do the Yankees keep getting away with it?
The Rockies have a minus 211.
Oh, God, yeah, how are they doing? Oh, my God, they're still 1862. Jesus Christ. And I think the last time we picked up on this, they were like 12 and 50 something. So they only won like 5 more games since we last talked about.
They've been 5-5.
Oh,
the Orioles went like 10-3, and now they're 4-6 again. So I was like, why are we winning? Why are we winning games here? We might as well just lose out. But
yeah, but talk about the Tampa Bay Rays though. Look at them. They surged. After being like, what, 4th in their conference?
Apparently not having a ballpark helps them.
Hey, they're hearing the rumors that they're finally going to move to Tampa Bay proper. They're fired up.
The Mariners have a winning record, too. That's pretty crazy.
That's normal. They always lose out on the playoffs by like 1 game. Brewers
are also doing good. The Cardinals have a winning record. And the Reds, of course, will have one.
This is just...
The Diamondbacks are 4th in their division, and they have a winning record.
Yeah, and then there's the fucking Rockies.
And then the Rockies.
And then the Rockies.
We're here too.
Yeah, the Rookies. The Rookies. You know what? They might as well be called the Rookies. But the Rockies have the worst record in baseball, bar none. At least the White Sox got the 40 wins. They probably not 40 wins, but they got 26 wins at least.
All right, and that's where I have to.
Yeah, we're done here. But
I have to go to work, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
But if you guys like this, hit the like button, subscribe down below, click the bell to get notifications when we upload. Next episode of Battle for the Bay will be here next week, and that is pretty much it. We'll see you guys later.
Peace, guys.